Doujutu. It refers to an eye that has a special power. And various doujutu appear in the world of Naruto and BORUTO. Special powers vary depending on the eye. And there is a wide range of special powers, from those useful in battle to those with support abilities. However, there are many doujutu, so what is this one? Sometimes it becomes difficult to understand. So this time, we will introduce all the doujutu that appear in the world of Naruto and BORUTO. Please note that this time, the video is not about the unique doujutu that each eye has, but about special eyes such as Syaringan and Byakugan. The first one I'd like to introduce is Syaringan. This is the doujutu that Uchiha Chizoku people have. The condition for opening the eyes is that when Uchiha Chizoku struggles in despair, a special chakra in the brain springs out and causes the optic nerve to respond. Simply put, Syaringan opens its eyes when it is emotionally shaken to the point of despair. By using this doujutu, you can not only visually see the color and flow of chakra, but also copy the opponent's ninjutsu. There are 3 stages of Syaringan, and as the stage goes up, the magatama in the eye increases one by one. Furthermore, there is the advantage that the power and performance of Syaringan improves as the stages go up. The person who opened his eyes is basically Uchiha Chizoku. But in the work he also uses non-Uchiha Chizoku, such as Kakashi and Danzo, although it is a convenient eye that anyone can use. There are disadvantages if used by anyone other than Uchiha Chizoku. This means that your physical strength will be exhausted. In the story, there is a depiction of Kakashi being hospitalized several times due to excessive use of Syaringan. It might be smarter to use Izanagi and make it disposable like Danzo did, as it consumes less physical energy. After Syaringan, this is probably the only choice. Manjaku Syaring. This eye is a superior species in which Syaringan has mutated. Even among the Uchiha Chizoku with a long history, there are only a few people who have opened this eye, making it a legendary doujutu. The eye-opening conditions are different from Syaringan, and are not clearly defined in the work. In the story, do you remember what happened that opened Manjaku Syaring's eyes? In the story, Itachi talks about killing one's closest friend. Madara says, experiencing the death of one's closest friend, and Obito says, death of one's closest friend. It is thought that people's eyes open when they are burdened with sadness due to the death of someone closest to them. This eye also has a unique feature that its patterns and abilities differ depending on who opens it. Activation requires a huge amount of chakra, and depending on the technique, it can place a heavy burden on the body, and there is a risk of losing your eyesight if you continue to use it. However, by obtaining a new Manjaku Syaring, you can avoid the risk of blindness and change into an Eternal Manjaku Syaring. The Eternal Manjaku Syaring, which can use Manjaku Syaring with many powerful unique abilities without risk, can be said to have crazy performance. Next is Rinnegan. It is one of the special eyeballs called the 3 major doujutu, and is said to be the most noble and strongest among them. By the way, this is the final form and ultimate form of Syaringan. Senju Chizoku cells are required to open this Rinnegan's eyes. In other words, the power of both Uchiha and Senju is required. If you have both of these things and face death, you will be able to open your eyes. Madara faced death in battle with Hashirama, and was able to open his eyes by obtaining some of Hashirama's cells in the battle. When you open your eyes, you will be able to use all of the 5 major qualities, and you will also be able to acquire the special ability, Rikudu no Jutsu. After Rinnegan, I have no choice but to go to Syaringan. This I is a higher class of Rinnegan. Rinnegan cannot be used in conjunction with Syaringan's ability. But if you obtain Rinnegan's original form, which has multiple Syaringan Magatama patterns called Rinnegan, you can use both powers. Sasuke was able to open his eyes thanks to the Hashirama cells that Kabuto used for treatment. Moreover, at that time I had already obtained the eternal Manjaku Syaring. Sasuke was able to get Syaringan. The reason why only his left eye is open is not clearly explained in the story, but there are several theories. The first theory is that the amount of Hashirama cells was small. Another theory is that Syaringan only opens one eye to begin with. Kaguya and Madara had their third eye opened on their forehead. So it is said that Sasuke could only open one eye.
On the track, boy.
Next is Byakugan. This eye is Kekkei Genkai of Hyugai Chizoku. This ability of the eyes is very insightful and allows us to see through objects, see far away, and see almost 360 degrees. Hyuga Nezi has such a Byakugan that he can even see the very small chakra outlet called Tenketsu. The conditions for Kaigen are simple and require training. And almost everyone in Hyugai Chizoku, regardless of their head family or branch family, Kaigen's Byakugan. I think it's a great advantage that you don't have to be surrounded by sadness like Syaringan. However, Byakugan unfortunately doesn't seem to have any unique abilities. Even if Byakugan is Kaigen, it does not mean that special doujutsu like Syaringan can be used. However, Byakugan, whose insight is better than Syaringan, has excellent compatibility with Hyugai Chizoku, who uses Juken to attack Tenketsu. As the story progresses, many powerful doujutsu appear. So the Byakugan is a little overshadowed, but it can be said that Nezi, who has been able to use the Byakugan since he was a boy, was a genius after all. As a side note, among some Japanese fans, it is common knowledge that Byakugan is the strongest. Half of it is just a joke. Hyuga is the strongest in Konoha. Next is Ketaryugen. This is a doujutsu belonging to the Chinoika Chizoku, a Kekkei Genkai clan that uses their own blood as a medium and can use even more powerful techniques. When jutsu is used, the eyeballs become bright red and blood flows from the eyes. It is similar to Mangekyou Syaring when using Amaterasu. And you can manipulate Genjutsu, which is equivalent to Syaringan. However, it is not described in detail, because it is a doujutsu belonging to a family that is said to have once perished. In addition to Ketaryugen, Chinoika Chizoku can also send his own chakra through the wound and turn the opponent into a human detonator.
On the track, boy.
Next is Tenseigan. This doujutsu becomes Kaigen when Yakugan and Chakra of the Moon Ututukishizoku are combined. It is a superior species of Byakugan and is said to be as strong as Rinnegan, but it is not even passed down on Earth. So it is a phantom doujutsu. Once you are able to control your abilities as a Kaigen, you will be able to control objects at will with the chakra you send. Is it an ability similar to Peen? Chakura's sword cut the moon in two with a single stroke. So it is said to be as strong as Syaringan. The last one to introduce is Jugen. This is doujutsu that appeared in Boruto, not Naruto. Like Tenseigan, This is also an ability that is part of the Byakugan lineage. Jugen was Kaigen because Ututuki Toneri had secretly given Chakura to Boruto through a dream. There are still many unknowns and Boruto's. Only Kaigen is his right eye. Abilities are similar to Byakugan. You can see through special chakra originating from another world. In addition, this eye seems to have the ability to open and close gates that connect to other worlds, and the ability to travel through other dimensions. But Boruto has not yet been able to control this eye's abilities. As of now, Jugen's Kaigen is only Boruto, and it is expected that the secrets will be revealed little by little. Everyone please pay attention to the future Boruto. I think there were a lot of parts that weren't very good at translation, but thank you for watching until the end. I would like to continue to introduce various Japanese cultures, mainly through manga. I would be happy if you had even the slightest interest in Japan. Please subscribe to the channel. I